The Louisiana Christian University Wildcats football team is back in the win column following a 30-26 win Saturday at Nelson University. And we get to talk about it with the head coach of the Wildcats. Joining us on the set is Ben McLaughlin, the head coach of the LCU Wildcats. And that had to feel good. That bus ride had to feel good coming back after a W.
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We've lost 3 one-possession games, and they were all crazy games. And the ball bounced the other way, every one of them. And so it's nice to have one of those games fall your way because, it's nice to show your kids that everything we're doing it the right way. We've got to find a way to close these games out and to see that even at this part of the season, when it hasn't gone to plan, they dug themselves out and they fought, and we got behind in the second half and they fought and took the lead, and then the defense held them at the end. Great team victory.
Right, you were up 16-7 at halftime, and then in the second half, your old nemesis, the turnovers, kind of popped up. A couple of key turnovers that led to them building, at one point, a 26-18 lead over you. But then you came back, and off the bench comes River Thompson just to go 8 for 8, and throws a 59-yard touchdown to Ethan Christman to get you close, and then Dalen Charles with his 3rd touchdown of the game that puts you in the lead. So let's start first with River.
Sure.
I thought Allen played a good game, but he had kind of a costly turnover, and then you bring River into the game.
Yeah, that's one of those things, again, everybody treats quarterbacks, so delicately, but they're just another position. And, one thing I commend River for is throughout the game, this whole process of when they're kind of both playing a little bit, he's been so supportive. He's always beside me coming off the field when Allen's playing and saying, I see them doing this, I saw this. So you could tell he's in the game. He's playing the game from the sideline. And then when Allen had a couple mistakes, and I just told Allen, it's like, Allen, we're in this game because you played really well. I was like, I know right now, anytime you make mistakes, I played the position, your confidence gets shaken a little bit. And so I knew we were going to need to go make some big-time plays, and I just wanted to go with the veteran at that point because I thought he would give us the best chance in the closing of the game, and I'm glad he did. But that's just a lot of credit to River of staying in the game and being ready for that moment. And I've been telling him all along, we're going to need you to win a game at some point. And he did it right then. So super proud of him, and it's just it was good for our team.
Allen ended up being your leading rusher in the game, and he had a run, I think it was in the 3rd quarter, where he broke away, and it looked like he was going to take it all the way, but then he kind of had to adjust his face mask. I think it must have gotten twisted or something and kind of slowed him down a little. Yeah,
no, he had a great run. I think it might have been right before halftime.
Okay.
Because we scored right before halftime to go up 16-7, and it was the 3rd and long. And that's what he does well. That's what he's very good at. 3rd and long, they covered the receivers. He made a scramble, and they balled him up, and then we kind of pushed him. It was a great play. You can go see it on, I think, on their stream. They have a couple clips of it, but that play, the great thing is, so he hurt his ankle on that play, and so that's where the River story kind of started, because River hadn't played a snap, and he has to go in the red zone, and we're only up 10-7, and he makes a really big completion on 3rd down that gets us to the inch line, and then we punch it in right before halftime. And so really good snapshot there of Allen doing what he does well, making a huge play, and then River being a vet, an older guy that came in and executed when we needed him. So it was a crazy game. I'm glad we won one of these crazy games.
For sure. It was about time, right? And your running game was really solid all game. Didn't maybe have the big per carry yardage, but at the end of the day, 244 yards rushing. And I mentioned Dalen, he ended up with 3 touchdowns in the game and is having a monster year as far as touchdowns go.
Right. Look, when you break football down, you can disguise it any way you want, but unless you're a Mike Leach kind of air raid offense, you win the game by running the football and stopping the run. So we're in shotgun. We like to throw it deep, but there's no secret. When we're playing well, it's because we are running the football and running it effectively. And so you'd like for those to get a couple 30, 40, 50-yard runs, but sometimes the defense puts a lot of people in the box and they stay you. So staying with the run, staying consistent with it, and wearing the defense down, and that's what we were able to do.
And then you mentioned defense. Your defense, I thought, played really well in this game. And we mentioned Jermarion Jackson last week, your freshman, and he ended up being the conference defensive, or he was the school student athlete of the week, but he had another huge game with 11 tackles for you.
Yeah, we call him Ted. I don't know why. I'm not sure where that came from, but Ted is a true freshman, undersized, kind of came in. Nobody really, I mean, we knew he was a good player from high school, but you never know and he plays with such a high motor. Really excited to see him step up in those ways. And I mean, if you look at our defense, we threw a pick six and we threw another interception and gave the ball a 10-yard line. You take those two, they gave up 2 touchdowns all game long. I thought they played one of the most solid games that they played all season against a offense that's a lot like us. They're a physical running football game, and they stepped up and stopped the run. And anytime you can run the football and stop the run, you got a really good chance of winning the football game.
Ted, huh? I think you have another.
We have Ted Jamison and Ted Jackson. Look, it gets confusing a little bit. So
the Teds have it,
that's right.
I guess, so to speak. So what was kind of the feeling of the team, the reaction after the game with finally getting that win? Because it had been such a struggle to get that win.
The message going forward all week was, and I just told him, I was like, I think we might have mentioned it last week. I said, when your 8-year-old kid wants to quit something, Pee Wee football, because it's hard, you're going to do one or two things. You're going to talk about this season and how you came out of it and how it was hard and you might have wanted to, but you didn't. Or you're going to lie to the kid because you're not going to tell him you quit, but you did. Are you going to be a liar or are you going to do it? And I just told him after the game, I mean, that's a story that's in your life chapter forever. These are situations that you bounce back from, that you fight through from, that you climb out of the hole from, that you can reflect back when life gets tough. You can use this. And so, and I don't want to make it over spiritual. I don't want to make it over, but man, football is life, and we can make those connections all the time. And so I would just told them that I'm so proud of them, and I'm as proud of these seniors of helping lead us to finish that game as I am if on the flip side of them going 9-1 last year. And so I truly mean that, and I truly think it's a growing. It helps them grow as human beings, and it's going to help us grow as a program because now these young guys, they're going to see that, and it's going to carry over.
So you get your 3rd win. This week you'll be going for your 4th win, traveling up to Little Rock, Arkansas to take on Arkansas Baptist. That's a 1 o'clock start up in Little Rock. And they're a team that's kind of struggling this year, 0-8 on the season. So you don't want to be overconfident,
Sure.
but this certainly seems like another winnable game.
Right. Well, I mean, I told our guy, look at our record of our 3 wins. Most of them have been one. I mean, when you look at a record, that doesn't tell the whole story. They're a college football team. Every player that plays on their team was a really good high school football player. You're going to their place. You come after a big win. You've got so many things as a staff that we've got to make sure that we, don't let them overlook. Don't let them see Texas Wesleyan. And so we've had a really good day of practice yesterday. We're going to have another one today. And so, anytime you travel, playing in other people's places is hard, and so they've got athletes. They're going to stop the run. They're going to try to do that, and so they're going to make us make plays on offense and defense. And so, looking forward to letting our guys have another opportunity to go out there and have some success.
And hard to believe, but it's the second to last game of the season.
Yep, these seasons feel like they age you 10 years, but then they also feel like they go away in a blink of an eye, and so it's a weird feeling of it. But we're excited for how our kids have responded as that's progressed, because it is the foundational building blocks of what we're going to do here.
It kind of reminds me of being a parent, where you talk about how the days are long, but the years are short.
That's right. It's exactly what it is.
You have long days of practice, but then the season goes quickly.
You're right.
So, all right. Well, again, that'll be a 1 o'clock start up at Arkansas Baptist on Saturday as Wildcats look for their 4th win of the season. Coach, thanks for visiting with us, and good luck this week.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
All right. That's our Cat Chat with head coach Ben McLaughlin. Thanks again to Jeff Young. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk with you next week.